Joe, I'm just changing it.
Okay, I'm recording. Okay, let me share my screen. I'm going to show you what we will be doing today. Let's see. Let me share my screen and show you what we'll be doing today. Okay, so we will do our homework first,
Yeah.
and then we will look at some expressions and polynomials, finding the factors. Okay, so we'll be doing some factoring, but let's do our homework first. And I was surprised. Let's see. Oh wait, that's not it. Let's see if I have it. Homework. Oh, okay. Okay, here's the homework. All right, does everyone see that homework?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I was surprised on number one that most, well, let's say the ones who turned in the work, 2 out of 3 missed it. Now, do you remember perimeter?
Yeah.
You do remember perimeter. Latoya, why did you pick the answer that had the square feet? That would never be perimeter.
I don't know. I don't have it, Miss Barbara. I'm not seeing the thing.
Oh, you're
Miss,
not seeing it? Okay. New share. You see it now?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the homework. Now, I was surprised that 2 out of 3 missed number one.
we have to walk away from number one.
Okay.
So how many people sending homework for you?
3 people.
Oh.
3 people sent homework.
No.
And 2 out of the 3 missed number one.
Oh.
That's good.
That was kind of surprising to me. Now,
You did number one?
No, the only one had it right of the 3 was Audrey. Audrey had it right. And
I tried number one and then I just say, oh, I just leave.
And I was really surprised that Mercedes and Latoya. Okay, now let me just go to the whiteboard. Okay. Let me do a new share and go to the whiteboard. Now, you have perimeter, right? And you have area, and you have volume, right? Perimeter. Now, anybody want to tell me for a rectangle, what is perimeter? What is the formula? Maureen, you know it, right? How do you find the perimeter of a rectangle? What's the formula? You remember?
I say the formula is to multiply, right?
Multiply what, Maureen? You're right, multiply, but what do you multiply?
Once length and width or something like that. Or one side by the other.
No. Latoya, you remember?
2L plus 2 times 2W.
So why didn't you do that?
I forgot the formula.
Perimeter for a rectangle is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width.
Oh, why did I say LML? Okay.
Okay.
Jane, if you're coming back and you can bring dishwashing liquid.
Maureen, when you're talking, go to mute. You're talking to household, go to mute.
I can get a mute though, because I don't want to cut it off, right? Sorry.
Well, it'll cut off if you go to mute.
Yeah, go it don't catch it itself, right? So sorry. No problem. Nobody here for the talk to know. Good.
Okay. Now let me just draw a rectangle here. Here's a rectangle. All right. You have length length, right? Those are equal.
Yeah.
And then you have two widths that are equal. What's the
Right.
difference in a rectangle and a square, Mercedes?
With a rectangle have 2 long sides and 2 short sides,
And a square has what?
has 4 equal sides.
That's it. All right, Mercedes. Very good. So a square, all your sides are equal. So you just say 4 times a side, right?
Yes.
That would be your perimeter. Now, the problem I gave you for perimeter, so you had to take what I gave you for the length and multiply it by 2, what I gave you for the width, multiply it by 2, and then add them. That was it. We'll go back to that. But that's the way you would solve perimeter for a rectangle. And the length could be a
Yeah.
number, but in the case, we had it as a polynomial, right? So it was a
Yeah.
polynomial, you substitute for L, a polynomial, you substitute for W,
But the-
multiply it out, and then add it. Now, the difference in perimeter and area, okay, area is what, Maureen? What's the formula for area?
The area is,
And I'll
I
say
don't know.
A.
Might know the area you got to multiply all 4 sides. I don't know how to explain it.
No, we're talking rectangle. So what's the
Oh.
formula for area?
A rectangle. There's
You're
a
right,
big one, I don't know.
multiply. So what do you multiply?
The line by the width.
That's it. I knew you knew it. See, length times the width. And that's going to give you square units. Perimeter is always linear. So if this was, say, inches times inches or inches plus, this would just be inches, right? Whereas
Yeah.
this one would be square inches. If it were feet, it would be feet and then square feet. So this would be square inches. I want you to know the difference. Now, if you were doing volume, say for instance, a rectangular prism, like an aquarium. Now, volume, you have what? 3 things you're multiplying. And what are you multiplying, Latoya? What's volume equal to?
A third times H, so
What?
L times
L
volume
times
L.
what?
times W,
Times W times what?
H,
That's it. Very good. So L times W times H, length times width times the height. And this
Times
would
the
give
height.
you cupid. If it was inches, it would be cupid inches, right?
Mm.
So know the difference. Perimeter, if it were feet, it would just be feet plus feet equal feet. If it were area, it'd be square feet. If it was volume, it would be what? Cupid feet.
Mm.
Because you may have a problem with polynomials where you're looking for area, and whatever you're given for the length, you multiply it by whatever is given for the width. So now you know the difference, right? Now, knowing that, you should be able to solve our problem. Let me just save that. Okay, and go back to a new share, go back to our homework.
Come on.
Okay, now you were given the sides and you define the perimeter. Now, someone want to tell me how to set it up? Two lengths plus 2 width. So you can call this 2x squared minus 11x plus 1 a length, and the 3x minus 4 a width.
Okay.
So how would you set it up, Mercedes? Perimeter would be equal to what? Tell me what to put in.
2x squared minus 11x plus 1x, sorry, plus 1
No,
times 2.
what did we say perimeter was?
The perimeter was inches.
No, the formula for a rectangle.
Oh,
Perimeter of a
2L.
rectangle. Is what?
2L plus 2W.
That's right, 2L plus 2W. You got it. Now, let's substitute. Tell me what to put in now. I have 2.
2x square,
That's 2. And what is that being? What is the length?
the length, 2x square
Yeah, 2x squared. And what else?
minus,
Okay, this is it right here. 2x squared minus 11x plus 1. That we're calling our length. Okay. Doesn't really matter, but usually the length is bigger, so it probably has more terms in it. Okay. Plus, and we have 2 times what?
we have 2 times 3x minus 4.
That's right. So let's just take this 3x minus 4 and put it there. Okay, now I have it where you can solve it. So I'll give you a few minutes to solve it. Multiply and then add. Is that Chastity on iPhone? Chastity, is that you on iPhone?
Hi, I think so, yes.
Okay, all right. So we're doing the first problem of your homework. Chastity, did you follow me about perimeter?
Yeah, I'm on it right now.
Okay, because I put it on the whiteboard. I'll send you a copy of what I put on the whiteboard. Because I want you to know the difference between perimeter, area, and volume.
All
Right?
right, thank you.
Perimeter is linear. That means your units would not be squared or cubed, whereas area, square units, and volume, cubic units. Okay?
Okay,
And see, that's why D would not be an answer here, because see, that says FT to the second. That means square feet, or feet squared. Okay, so it has to be just feet, because you're adding feet. Feet plus feet gives feet. Okay,
okay, thank you.
now, anybody has questions as to how you multiply this out?
I really like to know how to multiply it out, miss. That's why I leave it. Because
Well, you
unless-
multiply 2
without
by
four.
everything in the parentheses.
okay, that's why I
And then you
start with.
multiply 2 here by everything in the parentheses, which means you're going to
Oh.
multiply 2 times 2x to the second.
Yeah, that means I was on the right track. And I
That's
start.
it. And Maureen, what does that give you? 2 times 2x to the second.
I really can't see nothing.
Oh, you still can't see
Oh,
it? Oh, I thought your
right.
son had fixed it. Mercedes, what's 2 times 2x to the second?
4x to the second.
2 times 2x
Uh,
to the second.
That's 4 times x to the second.
That's it. 2 times 2 is 4, and you have x to the second. So you'd have 4x to the second. So keep going, and then multiply 2 times a minus 11x, then multiply 2 times a 1. Then go to the next term, 2 times 3x, and then 2 times minus 4. Anybody having problems multiplying? So 2 times 2x to the second would be, like Mercedes said, 4x to the second. So let's just copy that. Okay. And that would be 4x to the second. So let me put the 2 by, put a 4 there. Then you say 2 times a minus 11x. Chastity, do you know what that is? 2 times a minus 11x.
No,
Multiply the 2 times the coefficient minus 11. And what do you get?
mm,
What's 2 times a minus 11?
2 times minus 11.
2 times a minus 11. What's 2 times 11?
2 times 11. 22.
Yes. And if it's a minus, then it's plus times minus give minus. So we are minus
22.
22x. Can't throw away the x, right? So it'll be a
Plus 1.
minus 22x. And Chastity, what's 2 times plus 1?
3.
2 times 1?
2 times 1. 2.
2. That's right. So just be a plus 2. All right. So you did that first multiplication, 2 times the length. Everybody follow how we got these numbers?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Now I want to go to the next term, and that says 2 times 3x minus 4. Now, Maureen, I know you can't see, but what's 2 times 3x?
6x.
That's it. Excellent. That's 6x. What's 2 times a minus 4?
2 times a minus 4
Yes.
is a minus 6.
I didn't say add something. I said multiply. 2 times
Oh.
a minus 4.
Is a minus 8.
That's it. Minus 8. Now you're going to combine like terms. Now, Chastity, you see what we have here. I want you to tell me what looks like terms to you. We have a 4x squared minus 22x plus 2 plus 7x minus 8. Now, in order for them to be alike, they have to have the same powers, the same variable, or they could be constants, right? So what do you see here that looks like terms to you?
Miss Barbara, you said 7x and it's 6x. Is that right?
Well, I have a 6x and there's another x there. What's the other x?
The other x is 22.
That's right, a minus 22. Now the 4x squared is by itself, right? So we can just bring that down. There's nothing to combine that with. So let's just put that here. Okay, now Chastity, what's a minus 22x and a plus 6x? Remember, when you're adding unlike, you subtract. What's a minus 22x and a plus 6x?
Is 16.
Plus or minus. That's right. 16x was a plus or minus.
There's a minus.
Very good. Okay. Minus 16x. Now all you have left is your two constants. You have a plus 2 and a minus 8. Chastity, what are they equal to? There again, you subtract because you have a unlike signs and adding. You have a plus 2 minus 8. You've got to subtract. So what would that be?
Wow.
That would be a plus 6.
Wow.
Well, it'll be a 6, but will be a plus or minus.
Plus
You have a plus 2 and a minus 8. Which one is bigger?
the 8.
8. So you use the sign of the bigger
Minus 6?
number. Minus 6. There
Okay.
you go. Got it?
Yeah.
Now, what answer does that match?
B.
B. That's right. So it'll be answer B, which is 4x squared minus 16x minus 6. And that's in feet. So answer
B.
B.
I'm sorry. I just got home and I can't find my glasses. I see everything blurry.
Okay. All right.
I guess,
So that's answer B that we have right here where we multiplied it out. But I wanted you to do that. But once you know the formula for perimeter, then you take the 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, and then combine your like terms. Any questions on number 1?
can I see the bottom, Ms. Barbara? I can't see it.
Let's
Okay.
scroll up the page, Barbara.
Here we go.
Yeah, right there.
That's what we just did there. We put in for the length that was given right here. We took this as our length, right? And we took the 3x minus 4 as our width. Really doesn't matter. You could have reversed it, but I tend to use the one that seems to be the biggest as the length, but it doesn't really matter. You could have made this 3x minus 4 the length and this 2x squared minus 11x plus 1 the width. Any questions on number 1?
No, thank you, Miss.
Maxine, is that you on Samsung? Maxine, you're on mute. Is that you? It's either you or Audrey. Maxine, is that you on Samsung?
I wrote a mute, unmute.
You're on mute. Maxine? Unmute yourself. Okay, number 2. You remember from your exponent rules, you're multiplying a term that has a constant, has a base, and a power. And when the bases are alike, what can you do to the powers?
And the bases are like,
And you multiply it. What do you do to the powers when your bases are identical? That's the x. The x is the base. The powers are 2 and 4. So what do you do to the powers when the bases are alike in multiplication? I'll say these. What do you do?
you add them, Miss?
Yes, you add the powers. So you multiply the coefficient 6 times 4, you get 24, right? Add the powers 2 plus 4, and you get 6, and your answer is B. Any questions on number 2?
Did I get that one, Miss?
Let me just see.
I don't remember. I have to look back on my.
Let's see.
That's,
Number
that one was
number
B,
2,
Miss
you had right. Yes.
I got it right?
Yes. That's
Oh,
the one you had B. That was correct. Latoya, that's the one you had B and C. How could it be?
No, I did not B and C, I have B.
No, what you sent me had B and C.
I'm looking at my text as proof.
Well, what I saw on your text was B
Oh.
and C.
No,
I-
number 3 is C.
No, I'm talking 2. Number 2.
No, number 2 is B and 3 is C.
Number 2
But I
is
put
what?
the 3. Number 2 was B, but the C I put, number 3 is C, but I put the C before the B. That's why. It have a little dot there, that's
No,
why.
what you sent me had number 2, B, C, because I put B only.
No, I tell you, I put the 3 was supposed to be C, but I turn it back way. But number C, it have the dot. It have the dot there. Number 2, B dot, C dot. That's how I do it, but you maybe didn't see the dot.
The dot for
That's how
what?
I know I get it right. But I put number 3, was supposed to dot.
Number 3 you
C.
had B, which was correct.
You can hear me, Miss Barbara?
I can hear you.
Oh, so number 2 is B, right?
Number
Yeah.
2 is B.
Okay, but I had that one right.
Okay, so number 2 is B. Multiply the coefficient 6 times 4, you get 24. Add the powers, like Mercedes said, 2 plus 4, you get 6. Answer B. Latoya, you had B and C. That at least what you sent me had B and C. And I put B only. It's not, it can't be a 24 and a 10.
Oh,
You added, so I said she added the 10, 6 and 4 and got a
Okay.
10, and she multiplied the 4 and the 2.
finally, yeah.
Instead
look
of
up
what?
right now.
Multiplying the coefficients and adding the powers. See what you got, you would add the coefficients 6 and 4, you get a 10, and then you multiply the powers, but that's not what the rule of exponents say. Okay? So answer B. Any questions on number 2? Did
No.
everybody get a copy of the exponent rules? I sent everybody a copy.
Yeah.
You have them, right?
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you just look at your exponent rules and that's how you get that one right. Okay, let's go to number 3. Now, Latoya, you had B on that one. That was correct. And Mercedes, you missed that one. I don't know why.
I don't see it.
I
I
missed
don't see
number
number
3.
3.
Number
Number 4.
3 was a multiplication.
I did the number 3.
Number 3, you had C. You had C. Latoya had that one right. She had B. Audrey also missed that one. She put A. Now, this one, what do? You multiply the 3x squared times what is in parentheses, and you multiply the 4 times what is in parentheses.
You gotta
So-
do the FOIL for this one.
Yes, you can do the FOIL. Everybody understand FOIL?
I don't remember it. I forgot to review it.
Okay, let me put here FOIL, like Latoya said. What does F stand for, Latoya?
First.
First. That means what? This is
First term.
first. This is first. What is O?
Outer.
Outer. That's 3x to the second
And
and
outer.
8. And what is I, Latoya?
Inner.
Inner. That's 4 and 2x. And what is last?
L.
L is last.
Yeah, the 4 and the 8, the constants. Okay. Okay. So Latoya said do FOIL. All right. Mercedes, do FOIL on this one. What do you get? What's the first?
First part is 3x to the second power.
That's one of the first. And what's the other one?
2x.
Okay, so that would be 3x to the second. Let's just put it here. Do them in order. If you can do the FOIL, that's really probably the easiest way to do this one. Okay, so that would be 3x to the second. Let's just put that in parentheses. And we're multiplying that by what, Mercedes?
You multiply it by,
What's
I don't
other,
know.
What's the other first term?
2.
2
Oh,
what?
yes. You multiply 3x to the second power by 2x.
By 2x. Okay, so let's put the 2x. And what does that give you?
That would give you 6x to the third power.
That's it. Very good. 6, because you add the powers x to the second plus 1. So
Yeah.
that would be 6x to the third power. Okay. All
I
right.
think I made a mistake.
So everybody got the first, right? Now, what about the outer?
Should I continue?
Yeah, continue.
That's, you have 2 same. That's plus 4 plus 4 plus 8.
What are the outer?
4 plus 8.
The outer is 4 plus 6.
No.
This is 6, 4
You
is
told me the
24.
first. Now, what are the
Yeah.
outer?
I'm doing it. Okay, that would be 6.
What are the 2 outer terms?
Two
4 and
same,
6.
What?
4 and 6.
What are the two outer terms in this polynomial
oh, okay,
They call
the
it
two,
outer
multiplication?
terms.
Okay, let's go back over it. First, 3x to the second, 2x.
Out. I know.
Outer,
Yeah.
3x to the second, and 8. Those are outer.
Uh-huh.
Inner, 4 and the 2x. And last would be 4 and 8. You got it? So,
Miss-
Mercedes, what is the outer terms?
okay, please repeat that part. I think
Okay.
don't catch the inner order.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
First would be 3x to the second and the 2x. They're the first in the terms, right?
Okay,
The outer would be the outermost terms, which would be the 3x to the second and the 8.
oh,
You got it? That's the outer. There's nothing
So-
beyond those, right?
okay, that's right, okay.
And then the inner would be the 4 and the 2x right here.
So you're gonna say,
And then the last would be 4 and the 8. So, Mercedes, I ask you, what do I multiply for the outer?
3 times 8,
3 what?
3 times 8.
Were you throwing away your x squared?
Oh Lord, I didn't know I should use it. Is it oh there? Okay, 3x squared
Times what?
times 8.
That's right. So let me just copy this. And then we'll substitute in what goes.
That's why I couldn't do it. Okay, I said, oh, it's so long, I'm getting it short.
No, it's not really. Once you do these enough, they become kind of like secondary, right?
I
So
was so
let's-
doubtful, miss. I actually do it, but I was doubtful and I just leave it.
okay. So outer we said 3x to the second, and this will just be times 8. So let's just put an 8. And what's that equal to, Mercedes? What's 3x?
That's equal to 24x squared.
That's right, 24x squared. So let's put 24. All right, we've got x, and let's just put x squared. Change that 3 to, let's see, change that to 2. Got the 3. Bring that a little closer. So now with FOIL, you've done first and you've done outer, right? So let me just put here, okay, this is first. This is outer. And what's the next one?
Inner.
Okay, I is inner. So let's, what are the inner terms? I'll say these.
The inner is 4
Okay, so 4 times what?
times 2x.
That's it. Very good. So times 2x. That would be equal to what?
That would equal to 8x.
8x. Very good. So that's the inner. And like I say, once you do enough of these, it becomes familiar to you. Now the last one is what? L for last. So what are the last terms?
Oh,
I'll say
no.
these.
Last term would be
The last one in each of these set of expressions. The last one here and the last one here.
would it be 3x again, miss?
No, the last, what is the last term in 3x squared plus 4?
4,
4. What's the last term in 2x plus 8?
8.
8. So what would I multiply?
You multiply it again. 4 times 8.
That's right, 4 times 8. That's it. And what's that equal to?
That would be 32.
32. And that's the last, the L.
Oh, this is a little tricky, but it's not bad.
Yeah, you just,
Have a
if you have a
concentration.
problem, just label them. You know,
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
think you have a problem, just label them. Just put, you know, F, right? O, I, right? And L. So if you think you're having a problem, just label them. Just put the S, the O, and the I, and the L over what it represents. And after a while, you know, you don't have to do that. But until you really understand it, just put it over. This 3x to the second is first, so just put an F, and over the 2x, put an F. Outer, put O over 3x to the second and O over 8, right? And then for the inner, put I over 4 and I over 2x. And then for the last, put an L over 4 and a L over 8. Everybody's got that?
Yeah. Just may have to practice this one a little more.
So you can see your answer now. There are all of your expressions when you did the multiplication, and that can only match which one? Which one does it match?
It matches, the one it matches is is that B?
B, that's right. 6x to the third. There's the 6x to the third. 24x to the second. 24x to the second. 8x. And then the constant sum, 32. So the answer can only be B. Questions on number 3?
More practice all the time.
Any questions?
I need to find a way to get this one in my brain so I don't forget it. Although
foil?
you outline it like that's really nicely, but I still have to find some way that I have to practice some more of it.
Yes, but you gotta learn
To follow the details.
You've got to
Yeah.
know your first terms, your
Yes.
outer terms, your inner, and your last. And once you know those, you multiply them, right?
Okay.
And then you just combine them. Just
Okay.
these are plus, and if they were minus, of course, you'd have minus values, but they're all plus here. Like if this was a -8, a -8 times a +4 would give you what? A -32.
Okay.
And like here, a -8 times 3x to the second would give you a -24x to the second. So you got to watch the signs, right?
Yes.
The signs were other than plus, then of course you'd get different answers. The signs would be different. Any questions on number 3? And number 4, I think everybody got that one right who turned it in, but let's just for Maureen, who can't really see the screen.
I told you I could see the screen.
Oh, you can see the screen?
Yeah, I had on my phone. I didn't get it from my phone either, but then my phone come on. So I tell her, I said, well, if your phone come on, I check the computer again, it come up.
Okay, so you can see the screen,
Yeah.
Maureen? Okay, so you can solve number 4.
Not
Okay,
really.
Maureen, that's oh yes, I don't want to hear not really. You can solve it. It's a multiplication. -2x is multiplied by everything in the parentheses, Maureen. So you're going to take this expression and multiply by everything in the parentheses. So let's just copy this here. What's a -2 2x times 2x squared, Maureen?
2x squared
Now multiply the coefficients. Minus 2 times a plus 2 gives you what, Maureen?
a 0.
I didn't
Uh,
say add, I said multiply.
4,
Plus or minus.
a minus.
Okay, so you got the minus 4. And you add the exponents. What's
X,
that?
yeah,
Yeah, x to the 1 and x to the 2. What's 1 plus 2?
3.
So that's going to be x to the 3rd power, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, multiply the minus 2x times a minus 3x. Maureen, what do you get?
That's a minus 6x.
Minus times minus give what?
A plus.
That's right. Like signs multiply to give you positive. So minus times minus gives you plus. So that'll be plus 6x. Be careful with your signs. Now you have just one left. What's a minus 2x?
Miss, excuse me.
Yes.
Minus 6x, no power?
Do you see a power on the x's?
So that
The one-
is minus 2.
Oh, no.
No, you're right. You're right. Don't back down. You're right.
Oh, yeah,
X
I'm right.
to-
I'm right. Because
yes.
you have x there.
1 plus
That's
1
I
is
got it.
2. So this should be
Yeah.
a 2.
Power.
Don't
Yeah,
back
yeah.
down, Mercedes. You start
Yeah.
changing your mind. That should be a 2.
Yeah, I forgot. When I did it, I said, but yeah,
But
2x
the other
and
one
there must be a
but the other
power.
one don't have any,
That's
right?
good. I'm
That
glad
one.
you're paying attention,
Yes.
Mercedes.
Yes,
Excellent. Because you have a x to the 1 power and a x to the 1 power. You add the powers, 1 plus
Yes.
1, and you get a 2.
2, yes.
All right?
So there you said 2 4s is 8, right? Which will be plus 8 called minus and the plus. And the 4 is bigger than the 2, right?
Which one are you doing now? Minus 2x times plus 4?
Yeah.
So what's the answer, Maureen?
Plus 8x.
A
the
minus
4
times a plus gives you what, Maureen?
a minus.
Unlike signs multiply to give you negative. So a minus 2x times a plus 4 gives you a negative 8x.
Oh, I see.
You're still getting your signs mixed up. You're multiplying, you're adding when you're supposed to be multiplying. This is all multiplication. So what's the multiplication rules? Like plus times plus give plus. Minus times minus gives plus. Plus times minus gives minus. Minus
so-
times plus gives plus.
So
I'm
the
starting
answer
to
is
get
B.
minus.
The answer is B.
What's the answer?
B.
Minus 4x to the 3rd plus 6x. You said B? This is a plus.
Yeah.
A. Answer is A. Watch your signs, because see, that's a plus 6x to the 2nd in answer A. That's a minus 6x to the 2nd in B. Okay.
Yeah.
So answer A. Any questions on number 4?
No.
No, thank you.
Everybody all right for number 4?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So that one, you had just one. Well, that's like a monomial, minus 2x, just one term multiplied by a polynomial. Okay, so you multiply what is on the outside parentheses by everything within the parentheses. Make sure you apply your sign rules. Minus times minus is plus. Minus times plus is minus. Minus times plus again is minus. Questions number 4.
No.
No, thank you, miss.
Okay, let's go to number 5.
Latoya is still there?
Number 5. And number 5, let's see.
Yeah,
Latoya,
Maureen, I'm here.
Latoya has
Okay.
that one right.
I got my stuff right.
Yeah, Latoya
But
has
you
that
still,
one right.
That's
you
why
can
she's
still
the
start and
fourth.
say
Mercedes, you
something.
didn't. Mercedes and Audrey both missed that one. Let's find out why. Okay.
Number 5. Oh Lordy.
Number 5. Latoya,
Yeah.
please tell your classmates how to do that one.
That's right. But
You're
it
gonna
work.
Maureen wanna put me to work now? What they
Yeah.
say?
That's why she call you.
It take you what you say,
Yeah,
don't need to be done.
well, you had that one right, and somewhere your fellow classmates kind of missed the boat on it. Okay.
You're gonna combine your like terms.
Okay, so what's like to you?
They could have the same exponent,
Same powers, no, same power. They don't have
same
to have
powers.
the same exponent. Okay. They have to, well, the same power and the same
We call it
base,
variable.
the same
Yeah, base.
base. A is the base. So your terms that are like are what? Your 8a to the 5th and your 13a to the
Into-
5th.
Yeah.
And then your 10a to the 3rd and your 7a to
And
the
A to
3rd.
the third.
So, all right, Latoya, tell them how to solve it.
Okay. it's
8A,
10.
Okay, let's take the 8a to the
That part
5th.
right.
And what did you put with that one, Latoya?
minus 13A
Okay,
to the 5th. Sorry, I
Okay,
forgot the
so-
exponent.
so that's minus, and that would be the 13. Those terms are like minus 13a to the 5th. So let's just put that there. And what was that equal to, Latoya?
Minus a 5A.
Okay, so that's equal to,
10.
what did you
Oh.
say? Okay.
Minus a 5A. I thought you was
Oh,
doing the other
okay.
part.
Oh, okay. So
I do them
minus,
bit by bit. So I don't get
that's
confused.
minus 5, because 8 and 8 plus 8 minus 13 gives you a minus 5. So let's put out minus 5 here. Okay, what are your other terms, Latoya?
10A squared minus
Oh, 10a
7A squared.
10a to the 3rd.
10A to the third minus 7A to the third.
Okay. So 10a to the 3rd, let's put that there. Now,
And
okay. Now, the 7a to the 3rd has what sign, Latoya?
Minus. No, plus.
Plus, right?
Plus, yeah.
Because you have a 10a to the 3rd and a minus, but notice a minus in front of minus makes this a plus. Does everybody
Yeah,
follow
plus
that?
7A, yeah.
yeah.
Minus times minus, just think of it as multiplication. Minus times minus is plus. So that means this becomes what?
Plus 7A to the third.
Plus 7a to the 3rd. So let's just put here and put a 7 here.
Okay.
And what's that equal to, Latoya?
17.
17 what?
17A to the third.
Yeah, 17a to the 3rd. So let's just put equal here. And that would be a 17 instead of a 10. Okay, so you have minus 5a to the 5th and a plus 17a to the 3rd. And which one does that match, Latoya? Which
D.
number? D.
D.
That's right. So answer D. Questions on number 5?
I don't understand how I couldn't get that miss.
And we said descending order of degree. So the 5th degree is going to come before the 3rd. So that's why it's minus 5a to the 5th plus 17a to the 3rd.
Yeah.
I
Because we
bet you my
said-
last dollar I did it in another paper and forgot to put it on. I
What
have a
happened?
feeling I did it. This one seem easier.
Where did you go wrong on this one, Mercedes?
I'm looking at it. I have a feeling I did it and didn't get it and forgot to put it on the paper.
Because
It's a sheet that
number 5, you said, let's see, you said B.
what I do for number 5?
Number
B.
5, you said B. Now, oh, you know what you did? You
You got-
subtracted the 7a to the 3rd from 10 instead of adding.
That's
That's
why.
your
That's
mistake.
why.
So you
Yeah, that's right.
subtracted this from the 10. 7 from 10 will give you the 3. All right.
That's the wrong answer.
You
Yeah.
took this minus 7a to the 3rd, but you didn't apply this minus. So you said
That's why.
10a to the 3rd minus 7a to the 3rd, and then you say, oh, that gives me a plus 3a to the 3rd.
Okay.
Okay, that's how you got that answer. But you have to remember with your signs, you have a sign here saying minus, and you have one in the parentheses minus. Minus will give you a plus. So like Latoya said, that becomes a plus 7a to the 3rd.
Yeah, I
Get it?
forgot my science rule.
Yeah. Yep. That's where you went wrong. And notice they gave you an answer that you get when you don't do your signs right.
Oh yeah.
Yep. They gave you an answer. Okay, number 6. Subtraction. And this one is an ascending order of degree, which means the degree is increasing. And that's why with all these choices, you see the constant first, because the constant has a 0 degree. Now that one, number 6, Latoya had it right. Mercedes, you missed it. And I think
I
that's
missed
right.
it.
Yeah,
get that wrong, miss?
you had A.
I have A.
Yes.
Oh no, what did I miss in it?
Okay.
What you say I got 6 right?
Okay. You are subtracting, right? And there again, you see that minus. So minus will make that a plus. Minus plus makes this a minus. Minus plus makes this a minus. And minus plus make this a minus. So let's just copy this.
That's my error with the signs.
I think it's your signs again. So let's just take this 8x to the 4th. Let's just take this. All right. And put it here. Now, let's take this whole expression. Okay, I'll copy it. Let me copy this whole expression and put it here. Now, remember, that's a negative right here, right? So what that will
yes.
do is make this negative 2 a plus 2. So this becomes a plus 2, right? So let's just take that negative out, right?
Oh.
And the negative plus for the 9x to the 5th make this a negative, right?
Yeah.
So that's a negative. Here again, negative plus makes this a negative.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see, back up. This is a negative. this negative sign. This is not working. Okay, so let me just copy this here, and that would be a negative. So 2 is positive, negative 9x5, and then what we have, negative, we don't need this paren here. The negative goes in front of the next term, which is what, 2x to the 6. Let's do this. And the 4x to the 4 becomes negative, right? Negative plus negative. So this would be negative. So minus 2 minus minus, okay, minus, then a minus x to the 6, and this would be a minus 4x to the 4th. Let's change the sign. Okay, so you see the minus 2 became a plus 2. The plus 9x to the 5th became a minus 9x to the 5th. The 2x to the 6th became a minus 2x to the 6th. And the plus 4x to the 4 became a minus. Now you can just really add them, right?
Yeah.
And let's just put them in some kind of an order here, because we want it in what? There was an ascending and descending.
Ascending order.
Ascending. So that means we want to put the constants first. So let's just put them, make this, let's put our 3 here, where we have the 2. And then did we have an x to the 5th? We had a minus 3x to the 5th. So this is, no. Let's see. Ascending order. What would be the next one? The 4th, right? So this is, let's see, 8x to the 4th. And that's a plus. And we've got 8x minus 3x to the 5th. So that's minus 3x 5th. And after the 5th is what? The 6 plus 8x to the 6. So we've got 3 for the constant, 8x to the 4th. I'm looking at just this polynomial right here. 3 plus 8x to the 4th minus 3x to the 5th plus 8x to the 6th. So now that one's in ascending order, right? By degree. Everybody following?
So guess what, Miss? I do it the other way around. I want to get it wrong.
Well, it said ascending. So
Ascending
means the power is getting bigger.
and bigger.
Okay.
So what I did, I started the bigger power.
And this one, you've got to put the minus 4x to the 4th, right? Minus 4x to the 4th. Just put the 4th here. That's what we have here, right? Minus, and then what's the next one after the 4th is the 5th. The 5th is what? The minus 9x to the 5th. So this is 9. And then we have a 5 here. without a fifth here. See, if we put them in order, then it's easier that means when you do your addition, they'll be in order. Okay, so that's the fifth. And what do we have for the sixth? 2x minus 2x to the sixth. So this will be minus 2 and x to the 6. So let's just put the 6 here. Got that 4. Now you can combine them. Okay, so now we can combine them, right? Okay, so let me just draw a line. And now you add them. What's 3 and 2?
That's right.
5. So there you go. You got a 5. Okay, now we've got a plus 8x to the 4th and a minus 4x to the 4th. What's that equal to, Mercedes?
Plus 4.
Plus 4x to the 4th, right? So
Yes.
plus, and that would be 4x to the 4th. So let me just copy that there. Okay. And what about the 3x to the 5th minus 9x to the 5th? What's that equal to?
Minus 3. That would be 12x to the 5th power.
Plus or minus?
Plus.
Minus,
Minus,
has to
minus.
give minus.
Minus. What am I saying? It's minus.
Minus 12x. Okay, so let's just put that there. Minus 12, and then what about a plus 8x to the 6th and a minus 2x to the 6th? What's that, Mercedes?
That would be 6 plus 6x to the 6th power.
That's right. Very good. So how did you miss that, Mercedes?
I do it the other round. It's just imagine I turn it the other way around. I did it. I work it out, but I turn it instead. I start with the higher number and down to the lower number. But I put it. I put it in order. Same like I put it in order the way you have it there, which is like start from the 8x6 is at the where the 3 is. It's the other way around, opposite way. Exactly everything like that, with the opposite way.
Oh, you put the 6x to the 6th first. You put it in descending order, you mean?
That's right.
But
because
the choices. But that wouldn't have matched any of your choices, Mercedes.
Say that again, miss.
If you put the high power first, it wouldn't have matched any of your choices, A, B, C, or D.
But I got a match. Where's my sheet with my answer?
How could you get a match if you said you put the high power first? All these answers have the constant first, which is the lowest degree of 0.
What's the answer I gave you, miss?
You gave me, let me see here. You gave me for number, what number was that? Let me scroll back up here. Number 6. Number 6, you gave me A.
Oh boy.
And there again, you've got your signs. See, you had a 12x to the 4th.
Yeah.
Which meant you added these. Well,
So
maybe your sign was wrong. Maybe your minus 4x to the 4th, you had a.
Can be.
Well, you know what? The minus plus is minus. So to get 12x to the 4th, you had to have a plus here. I don't know where you got the plus from. Some way you put 4x to the fourth as a plus. Well, you know what you did. You just put plus 4x to the fourth, and you just ignored that minus sign right here.
Oh, boy.
You just ignored it. So what answer is this?
That answer is, that is answer D.
Answer D. Okay. So you're still getting your signs. You're not the only one.
Yes, I
You're
made
getting your
mistake.
signs confused here. See, if you've got a minus in front of something in parentheses, you've got to apply that, well, a minus or a plus. You apply it to everything within the parentheses. So minus minus become plus, minus plus becomes minus. That's why we have the minus 9x to the fifth. Minus plus becomes minus. That's why we have minus 2x to the sixth. Minus plus become minus again. That's why we have minus 4x to the fourth. Everybody follow?
Yes, miss.
You're still getting your signs mixed up. Audrey. Audrey just came on. Audrey? Audrey, she's not on mute. Audrey, can you hear me?
She's on mute?
No, she's not on mute.
No.
Audrey?
Oh, she can't hear you.
Audrey? She's there, but she's not on mute. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't hear me. So that was number 6. We've got to work on our signs. I've got to find a way to get you to understand the signs, because for one thing, you're getting operations mixed up. You're using signs for multiplication and you're adding, and it's multiplication. And then you're doing the reverse. Does everybody understand that when you have a sign outside of an expression, that it applies to everything in the expression? Does everyone understand that?
Say it again, miss.
If you have a sign and it's outside of an expression that has terms in it, that sign applies to every term in the parentheses. In other words, this minus applies to the 2, the 9, the 2, the 4. So whatever the sign is, you have to use your sign rule. So minus minus is plus. Minus plus is minus. Minus plus is minus. Minus plus is minus. So you want to put those correct signs there after applying the sign outside the parentheses. You want to do that first. Okay?
Okay.
And it makes it easier. In other words, put the sign outside on the signs inside and then rewrite it. And then when you add it, it's just straight add. Like signs add, unlike subtract. Like signs add, unlike subtract. Got it?
Yes, I'm trying to. I'll keep reread what you did.
Any questions on that problem? Because I find that the errors you're making are more on signs. It's not the actual mechanics of what you're doing. It's once you get it there, you put the signs incorrect. And of course, you'll get an answer that matches one there when the signs are incorrect.
Oh.
The problems are designed so that it tests whether you understand the operation and you understand the signs. All right?
Okay.
Any questions on number 6?
No, thanks, miss.
And you know what the degree is? That's the power, right? A 6 is a higher degree than a 5. which is higher than a 4, which is higher than a 1 or a 2 or a 0. Okay. Now let's go to number 7. Now this is one that, let's see who got it right. Latoya had it right. And Audrey did not have it right. And Mercedes, you did not have it right.
I didn't
Now-
get it right. Number 7?
No, you did not have that one
Oh,
right.
Lord. Was I sleeping when I doing it?
Now you know what prime factors are, right?
Mhm.
Maureen, what's a prime factor?
In fact, it's like 11 numbers that could go into itself one time.
Numbers whose only factors are themselves and 1.
Or the
In other words,
I just heard
the
about
only say the only factor of 11 or what, Maureen? What are the factors of 11?
1
And what?
and 11.
That's right, 1 and 11. What are factors of 2? The number 2.
1.
And
2
what?
and 1.
Yeah, 2 and
Or 1 and
1
or
and
1
2,
and 2.
either way, 1 and 2. So they're numbers whose only factors are themselves and 1.
1.
Now, to find the factors, the prime factors for 42, you've got to find the prime numbers that all multiply to give you 42. And what are those numbers? Anybody want to tell me? What are those
Six-
numbers that
6, 7. 6 multiplied by 7.
I mean, miss my phone about my charger.
6 is not a prime factor, Maureen. 6 has factors of 3 and 2.
You said, prime numbers. Oh, I see.
Prime numbers that multiply to give you back the number. So what are
91
times what?
3. No, times 2. Or 2 21 is 42. Or you can say,
But that's not one of the choices. They don't tell you 2,
I know,
right? What are the number of prime factors for 42?
6 is 1, miss.
What?
6
3.
times
7, I think.
6 times 7. I'm guessing.
A prime number.
6 is not a prime number.
Oh, prime numbers, you say? Oh,
Prime numbers are
It says
numbers.
3, Miss Barbara.
Well, you were right. You're the only one that had it right. So what
Yeah,
are the,
I
so,
say 3. Yeah.
yeah, but
because
what,
3 times 14 is 42.
that's only 2, but
Uh,
14 is not a
3,
prime
1 is
number,
3,
Mercedes. 14 has 7 and 2.
Yeah,
Oh,
because 3 14s is 42, right? Yeah.
It's 14.
14 is not a prime number.
I know.
Okay. Now, Latoya said D, which is correct. What are the 3 prime numbers, Latoya? What are the 3 prime numbers?
1 and 3.
3
One.
prime factors.
1, 2, and 3.
1,
That's
2,
not
and
it?
3 don't multiply to give you 42.
Oh, no.
Remember, I said they have to multiply to give you 42. So what 3
14
prime numbers?
times 3.
14 is not a prime number. So
Oh.
Latoya,
7.
did you guess, Latoya?
What did I put on?
8 is a
7
prime
times
number.
6 times
5 is a prime number.
7 times 6.
What did you say, Maureen?
5 is a prime number.
7 times 6
7
is 4.
times 6 is 42.
Yeah,
Don't it?
yes.
Well, you're on the right track. You said 7, okay.
Times 6.
7 times 6, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
But 6
Is it a prime number?
prime numbers are what?
But 6 is not a
Latoya,
prime number.
what are the prime numbers of 6?
2
Latoya,
and 3.
what?
2 and 3.
That's right, 2 and
3.
3. So that means your 3 prime factors are 2, 3, and 7. Latoya
Yeah.
just told you. 2,
3,
3, and 7.
7.
See, she took 7 and 6, and 7 is a prime number. 6 has 2 prime numbers, 2 and 3. And if you multiply 7 times 3 times 2, you get 42. 21 times 2 is 42. So your prime factors are 3. The 3 numbers that can multiply to give you 42 are 7, 3, and 2.
Okay.
Got it?
So D is the answer, miss.
I'm sorry?
D is the answer.
D is the answer. Yes,
I
D
should
is
get
the
that
answer.
right.
3 prime factors of 42 are the numbers that multiply to give you 42. And like Latoya says, 7 and 6, but 6 is not a prime number, but its factors are prime numbers, 3 and 2. So you put that with the 7, and you have your 3 prime factors, 2, 3, and 7. Got it? Questions number 7. Questions?
Mm-mm.
Okay, now let's look at number 8. Maureen, number 8. Which of the following? And tell me how you did it. Which of the following numbers least common multiple of 9 and 6? So we have 9
9 and 6.
and we have 6. Okay, so you give me the multiples of 9. And give me the multiples of 6. So what are the multiples of 9?
That is 1.
No, you're gonna
Right.
multiply 1 by the number.
Yeah,
What's 9 times 1?
it's 9.
Okay, what's the next one?
3 times 3.
No, what's 9 times 2?
9 times 2 is 18.
Okay,
There's 2.
and what's the next one?
Okay.
9 times 2 is 18.
And 9 times 3?
3 is 27.
9 times 4?
36.
36. Okay, now let's go to 6. 6 times 1.
6.
6 times 2?
12.
6 times 3?
18.
18. So we can stop here because we want the least common multiple. So what is the least one that match? So we could go to 24 and 36, right? 6 times 4, 24. But we wanted the least. So
Yeah,
of
least.
these that match, we see what match. 18 and 36. What's the smallest?
18.
18. So what's the answer?
Yeah,
A. That's right.
I had done that. Yeah.
Answer
Yeah.
A. Now, let's see. Let me just look here. Mercedes, did you have that one right?
Yes, miss, I should.
Okay, number 8. Let's see. Yes, you had it right. Of course, Latoya had it right, and Audrey had it right. 18. Okay, so once you put the multiples down, you see the smallest of the ones that match are 18 and 18.
And I should get 8 right also, miss.
Yeah, you had 8 correct. 36, 36 is not the smallest, okay? And that's not one of the choices either. And 24 you don't see as a multiple of 9, so it can't be 24. And then 27, you don't see as a multiple of 6, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Excuse me,
Question?
it's Miss Speckles. Who's
Yes.
on the iPhone?
I asked and no one said anything. That maybe Audrey was on, but she had her name, and then Maxine, I don't know who's. Oh, that's Chastity.
Chastity.
Is on iPhone.
Chastity, who's on the iPhone?
I think
Yeah.
so.
That's
Okay,
Chastity
all
on the
right.
iPhone. Now there was someone on the Samsung, and I don't know if it was Maxine. And then Audrey, we saw her name, and then she disappeared. So
Audrey's back. I think she's back up. I just saw her name.
yeah, I saw her name, but now I don't see it.
Yeah, she's there.
Her
Okay,
name
now-
is there. Yeah, I saw it too.
but I don't see it now. And I called her name out, and she didn't say anything. I don't know if she could hear me or not.
And somebody on the iPad.
Here she is
iPhone.
now. Audrey,
Latoya.
Audrey, can you hear? Now, there was a Samsung there, but the person disappeared. That may have been Maxine. I don't know. Audrey?
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm not.
I don't know if she could hear me. Audrey?
I'm not seeing the sign for or I don't see the sign for a mute. It's not there. Maybe not
Well, no,
working.
it doesn't say mute. Maybe she can't hear me. Okay. Let's go to number 9. And number 9, let's see what happened. Oh, number 9. Number 9. Latoya had half of it right. Mercedes had, you gave 3 choices, it's really 2. Okay, so I think you got, okay. Latoya just had B. Okay. All right.
I had B and D.
Okay, you said you had B and D.
Mhm.
How is D a factor, Maureen?
What's that
All right,
sound?
there.
What does 3 multiplied by something to give you 11? Maureen,
3 11s is 33, right?
yeah, but 3 11s give you 33, so that's a factor of 33, but 3 times what number give you 11? See, it has to be common factors of both 11 and 33.
Yeah.
3 is not a factor of 11. I don't know of
I
any
know.
number multiplied by 3 to give 11.
I put B. I put 3 for the factor at 33.
Yes, but it say which of the following numbers are common factors of both.
Oh,
There's your key there. Both 11 and 33.
That's 11. That's B, right?
Yes.
oh,
That both
One.
11 and 33. So it should be what? A,
B.
and B.
and B.
A and B.
All right. In other words, 1 times 11 is
Is
11.
11.
1 times 33 is
It's
33.
33.
11 times 1 is 11. 11 times 3 is
33.
33. So your
Yeah.
choices were A and B,
A and
not
B.
the 3.
Oh,
You know how with the factors, you put 1 and then you put the number and you put in between. But 3
Okay.
is not in between those. Both of them. It's only on the 33, but not on the 11. Maureen,
I
that's
got
where
it
you went
wrong.
wrong. You
okay.
said
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Did I get
Oh.
one wrong, miss?
Well, you said A, B, and D, but it's not D.
Okay.
In
That's
other
what I
words,
was
we had the A and B, but D, 3, remember it said both, so 3 is not a factor of 11,
Of 11. That's right. That's
but
right.
it's a factor of 33. But it
Yes.
said both, so it cannot be D. Got it?
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
And number 10, I think everybody got that one right. Maureen, how would you solve number 10?
But let me see. I multiply 5 by 5 by 5 by 5 by 5.
Well, on your calculator, you
Yes.
can just put it in the calculator and let it do the power for you, right? And then what did you do with the 5 to the 5th power?
I don't do nothing. I can get it
What?
doing my calculator anyhow.
You couldn't do the power?
I can get doing my calculator.
Do it on your calculator. Mercedes, do you use on the calculator?
Yes, miss.
All right. Because you have to use it's like an upside down V,
Oh,
right? So you can put the number in, and then you do that upside down V, and you can put the power on it. Right?
oh, that is the 5 to the power 5 is 31, 25.
Let's see.
Okay. And
You take
11
11 to the
power
3rd power and 5 to the
3
5th power.
into
Mercedes, how did you do
30,
yours?
I
31. Okay, this
I
4,
multiply because
3,
it means to multiply 5
Yeah.
times.
Oh, you didn't put it in the calculator with the power?
Let me you put in the number for 5 first. Then you put in the V, and then you put in 5 again. And you say the answer was 3125.
Right. Yeah. On your calculator, Maureen,
I find it.
did you put that in?
Yeah, I find it
You
now.
put in a number
1, 2,
and do
4.
the
Yeah.
V, and you have a power, and you
Yeah.
put the 5.
I get 1794. I see it know how
Yeah.
to do it. Yeah.
Okay, but I'm just saying, on your calculator, to get the power, you put the number, then you do the V, and then it lets you
Okay.
put the
Yes.
power.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I did this.
And
Okay.
then you can then subtract the numbers. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. So that was your homework. Okay, let's go to what we will be doing today. Let's see.
I'm sorry, Miss Barbara, I don't understand the last one.
Number 10.
Yes.
Okay. 5 to the 5th power people waiting in line. The concert auditorium will only hold 11 to the 3rd number of people. How many people will not be allowed to enter the concert? So there are 11 to the 3rd power, and that gave you what, the 3125?
Yes.
Upside down.
There are
So,
5 to the 5th power is 3125.
Are you writing something? I don't see anything.
No, 5, let me put it here. 5 to the 5th. Let's put this here. 5 to the 5th power. I'm going to the next screen. Okay, so 5 to the 5th power, and I did it in the calculator, is equal to 3125. That's how many people waiting in line, right? But the concert auditorium only holds 11 to the 3rd. So let's put that 11 to the 3rd. And let's put 11 and the power 3. And that gives you 1331. So 11 to the 3rd power.
I forgot how to do that power thing.
Okay. Do that right on the calculator for you. That gives you 1331.
Okay.
So 3,125 people waiting in line, but the auditorium only holds 1,331. So the difference will be that people will not be allowed in. Of that 3,125 waiting in line, they limited by 1,331 seats. So you take the 3,125 and subtract the 1,331 from it. Okay, 3,125 minus 1,331. Okay, and that gives you the 1,794, and that's the number of people that will not be able to get in.
Okay.
Okay, so
Thank you so much.
yes, 3,125 people waiting, but you limited in the auditorium to only seat 1,331. So the number that's not getting in is determined by how many can be seated from the total number waiting in line. Got it?
Okay. Yes, thank you.
1,794. Any questions on anything we've gone over? Let's look at our lesson for today. Okay, that was the homework. Okay, let's look at our session for today. Okay. Does everybody see GCF or monomials and polynomials?
Yeah.
Okay. Greatest common factor. What's the difference in a monomial and a polynomial? Audrey, can you hear me? Mercedes, what's the difference in a monomial and a polynomial? You're on mute.
Sorry, Miss.
You're on mute. What's the difference in a monomial and a
I don't think I
polynomial?
remember. I don't think I remember.
Maureen, you remember?
One is
None.
multiply and divide.
Oh, no. It's related to the number of terms. Mono means one. So monomials have one term. Polynomials have more
two
than
terms.
one terms.
More
No,
than.
polynomials can have 6 terms,
Oh,
just more than one. All right. We normally just call them all polynomials, but monomials have one term. Right? Just like okay, let me just write something here. Okay. If you had 4x, and let's just put 2, and I'll put 12, 5, third. Now, each one of these terms represent a monomial because it's just one term. All right. 4x to the second is a monomial. 12y to the third is a monomial. Now, if I took those, let's just take the 4x to the second and 12y to the third. And suppose I put 4x to the second and I put 12y to the third, and I add them. Now, how many terms do I have in this expression? Mercedes, how many terms? Mercedes, you're on mute.
Oh, okay, I'm back. My page just
4x to the second plus 12y to the third. How many terms?
how many terms it is? 2 terms.
2 terms. So that's a polynomial.
Oh.
Or you could call it a binomial, but we don't.
Oh,
use
so if it's
bi-
3,
bi-
oh, miss, so if it's 3, that's What do you call it? Do you pronounce it?
Monomial is one term. More than one, we just call it polynomial.
Okay.
But it's still it's a binomial too, because it has two terms. Bi means two, tri means three. But we don't do that. We just say polynomials are monomials. Monomials, one term. Polynomials, more than one term.
Somebody
I'm
mute.
not hearing you.
Somebody go to mute. Wait, go to
Miss
mute.
Barbara, I'm not hearing you.
You not hearing me?
Yeah, me just hear you now. This stupid computer. Come, my phone died.
Oh, your phone died. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was just going through the difference in monomials and polynomials. All right. Monomials have one term. Polynomials have more than one term. Okay. So 4x to the second is a one term. That's a monomial. 12y to the third, one term. If I combine 4x to the second plus 12y to the third, that's two terms. So that's a polynomial. Now, just like we factor numbers, we can factor monomials and polynomials. Okay. Now, how do we do that? Let's take an example. Now, suppose we wanted to find the greatest common factor between 10x to the third and 4x. Right? Does anybody want to take a guess as to what the factor would be?
Is that 4x to the second power on the left and 4x to the second power on the right?
No. I only want one common factor that
Oh.
will divide into 10x to the third and also 2x. Now, sometimes you can get them. Now, I'll go through a way of finding it, but you can sometimes look at them and tell. You trying to find a common factor within each term. So, Maureen, what is a common factor between these two terms? Take a guess.
Which one? 4x to 2 and 12x to 3?
No. I want a factor. I want a number that divides into 10x to the third and also divides into 4x.
Oh.
2?
2.
Oh.
And what about the x?
2x?
2x. Very good. Because a 2x will go into 10x to the third, and it will also go into 2x. So some of these you can find without going through a procedure like we'll go through. But one thing to remember is when you have two terms, your factor is going to be made up of the term with the smallest degree. So this is x to the 1, and that's x to the third. So we know x is going to be part of the factor. Then you think of 10 and 4, and Maureen said 2. 2 will go into 10, and 2 will go into 4. So the greatest common factor would be 2x. That would be your answer, 2x. Now, how we can find that, we can take the 10x to the third and break it down into its factors. 2 times 5 times x times x times x. That's the x to the third power, right? And then the 4 is 2 times 2, and then we have an x. Now, the factors they have in common are what? The 2, and the x, right? So if you look at 10x to the third and 4x, there's a 2 here and a 2 here, an x here and an x here. So the greatest common factor is 2x. Got it? which a lot of time you can find it without going through this, just like Maureen did with the 10 and the 4. She said 2 will go into 4 and 2 will go into 10. And the smallest degree is the x. So it's 2x. Now, what does that look like? Let me just take this here. If 2x is a factor, that means we can say 2x times, and for the 10x to the third, it would be what? 5x to the second. And for the 4x, what would it be? Mercedes, what would I have here?
For the 4x.
And I'm just going to say this is a plus, okay? If I
I wasn't comprehending this. I'm sorry.
okay. Now I said my factor here, my greatest common factor was 2x.
2x, yes.
Now 2x times 5x to the second gives me 10x to the third. In other words, 2 times 5 is 10. And if I add my power 1 plus 2, I get x to the third. Now, what would I have here for my 4x? What do I multiply by 2x to get 4x? Well, see these.
Another 2x.
That's it. No, not a 2x now. Just another 2.
So that's 2. Yes.
Okay. In other words, if this factor is correct, it means I can put the factor outside of my expression and put inside what I can multiply to get back my 10x to the third and my 4x.
Okay.
Okay, in other words, I'm saying this is a plus. This is 10x to the third plus 4x. My factor is 2x. 2x times 5x to the second is 10x to the third, and 2x times 2 is 4x.
Okay.
So the factoring is just like we've been doing with numbers, except you have numbers and variables. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, let's go to 9x to the second and 6x. Now, I want you to find your greatest common factor, and we don't have to go through this. You know the factors that are common between 9 and 6. What are they?
3, 1.
Well, 3, but 1 is prime.
1.
3 is prime also, but 3 goes into 9 and 3 goes into 6.
26.
So we know 3 is part of it, right? And then
Yes.
our lowest degree is an x. So our greatest common factor would just be equal to 3x. In other words, 3x times some number gives you 9x to the second, and 3x times some number gives you 6x. Now, let me just put the 3x here, and you tell me, Mercedes, what goes in parentheses? What expression multiplied by 3x give you 9x squared?
That would be 3x.
3x, very good, okay. Now, what about the 6x? What expression times 3x give you 6x?
2x.
2x times 3x is 6x squared. I only have
Yes.
6x.
So 2x is wrong?
Yes, because 3x times 2x is 6x squared. Remember, this is a 6x. This is squared, but this is just a 6x. So 3x times
only
what
2.
number give me 6x? Mercedes, you said it.
2.
2. 3x times 3x give 9x squared. 3x times 2 gives 6x. Okay, so this is factoring with a binomial. In the case of here, I'm combining it, making it really a polynomial. All right. And if you broke it down into prime factors, 3 times 3 is 9, x times x is x. For 6x, 3 times 2 is 6, and x. So what factors do they have in common? The 3 and the x. So that's the common factor is 3x. Now, a lot of these you can do without going through this, but the key is you take your factor in the polynomial that has the lowest degree. And that's going to be part of it, because we'll have some that will have more than one variable. Okay. Now, I want you to, okay. This is something I just said, lowest power. So what is the greatest common factor of 5x to the 7th, 30x to the 4th, 10x to the 3? Now the lowest power is x to the 3rd. So you know your factor is going to have x to the 3rd in it, right?
Yes.
Now, what are your greatest common factors between the number 5, the number 30, and the number 10?
Number 5.
What number goes into 5, goes into 30, and goes into 10?
5.
5, because 5 goes into 5, 5 goes into 30. So then your greatest common factors is to be 5x to the 3rd. There it is, right there.
Yes.
So are you getting the hang of how you do this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, now let's take this next one. Okay, this one has 2 variables. All right. And notice it has the y to the 2nd, the lowest right here, but it has the x to the 2nd, the lowest right here. Okay. So you know you're going to have x to the 2nd and y to the 2nd. So let's just put that down there. Okay. X, that's the lowest power of the x. So let's just put the x to the 2nd. Let's just put that there. And we know the lowest power of the y is y to the 2nd. So let's just put that there. So we know that's part of your greatest common factor. X to the 2nd, y to the 2nd. Now, what's the greatest common factor between 40 and 32?
40 and 32, that would be.
What number goes into 40 and also goes into 32?
8.
8. That's right. So we put the 8 in front of our variables. We put an 8 here, right?
Yeah, the 4, 18 to 30 is 4.
Now, if you take this 8x to the 2nd, y to the 2nd, let's just put that outside. And you tell me what goes in the parentheses. I'm going to copy that here. I'll copy that here. Okay. And let's just put parentheses. Now you tell me what goes in the parentheses. So I get back 40x to the 5th, y to the 2nd, and 32x to the 2nd, y to the 3rd. So what will go in the parentheses? So what you're really telling me is what coefficient and variables and powers multiply by 8x to the 2nd, y to the 2nd to give me
5 and 4.
What's the powers, Maureen? 5 and 4 is correct, but what's the powers?
Power 2.
What? Well, okay, so 8 you said would be a 5 because 5 times 8 is 40, right? That's right. That's a 5. But what would be the powers? What would be the variables and their powers?
5 to the power 2.
No. 5 times 8 is 40. That's my coefficient.
Oh,
What would be the variables? In other words, I'll start with x. What would be the power on the x?
8. I don't know.
Mercedes, do you see it?
Is it 4?
No, X for the 40 has a 5.
Oh,
Mhm.
oh, oh,
What
40. So
number
I'm looking
adds
below.
the 2 to give me a 5?
3.
Like
3.
3.
That would be a 3. So you'd put a 3 on the X, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now the Y has Y to the second, right? So I don't have it. I have a 1, so I'd have to put anything there. So I don't put a Y because it's already Y to the second. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Now let's go to the next one. I'm going to say plus. Now 32 times 32 is 8 times what?
4.
So that's right, a 4. Now I have X to the second already there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what power of Y would I have to get Y to the third if this is Y to the second?
Y to the 3rd.
Y to the third is what I want to get, but I have Y to the second out here as a factor. So Y to
You
the
gotta
second.
put an X.
No, we're talking Y now.
Well,
Well, X to the second, we already have 8X to the second. And time 8X to the second times 4 is 32X to the second. But
34Y.
yes, that's right, because Y to the 1 plus Y to the second gives me Y to the third. So that would just be Y.
Are you leaving? What time are you leaving?
That's correct, Maureen. You got it.
What become of Vanessa?
Oh, you have to pick him up. Sorry.
Go to mute.
Sorry.
Okay,
Oh, so that 4 will want no power. Listen.
ask your question again, Maureen.
So that 4 will want the power.
What about the power?
No, I was saying it was 4Y
You
to
should
the
be
fact to the 3rd.
For Y to the what?
There
3rd
should,
power.
there should be
No.
a power.
Y to the second time Y gives you what, Maureen?
Y.
Y to the second time Y to the 1.
0.
No,
3.
Y to the third. So that's how I get Y to the third. Y to the second times Y to the first gives me Y to the third.
I think she was asking if there shouldn't be a power at Y, 4Y.
Yeah, there is a power of 1, but you don't have to put it.
Okay.
It's a 1. And a
Oh,
1
I
plus a 2 gives you the 3. And that
Oh.
matches what I have here, right?
Oh,
But I have the X square already there. So 8X squared times a 4 gives me 32X to the second. And then a
Mhm.
Y to the second plus Y gives me Y to the third.
Mm.
Question?
Mm.
Still not comprehending this one so
Now, when
good.
you multiply this factor by what is in the parentheses, you should get back these terms right here.
Oh,
All right, you want to get those terms back. Okay, so 8X to the second, Y to the second. Let me just break it down here. Okay. Break it down in the steps so you can see it. Okay, let's just put this here. Now I'm multiplying. Okay, this is, okay. Now when I multiply that, now say this, what do I get? When I multiply those terms, what does that give me? Multiply your coefficients first, right?
that's
Mhm.
like
8 times 5,
that's 40.
40. Okay. Now, X to the second times X to the third gives you what?
X to the 2 and X to the third, that multiply.
Yes.
That's 6.
What? How you
That's
get
X6, X6.
2 plus 3 is
X,
what?
2 plus 3 is 5. I thought you
So
said
how are you
multiply.
getting 6?
I thought you said
You-
multiply.
No, when you multiply with same power, you add the exponents. Remember your exponent rules?
Oh yeah, is it same to this one?
Right?
Oh.
Same, it's same. We're still dealing with exponents and
Okay. So
bases. So
that
x
is
second times x to the third gives x to the
X
fifth.
to the power, yes.
So we put our fifth here. Right?
Mhm.
Then we have y to the second time just no y on the other side, so we could say the 1. So we'd have y, and that
To the
would be
second.
y to the second. Doesn't that match just what we had up here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take the next one now. We want to get back our 32, right? So let's
Mhm.
take our same. Okay, let me just I'll just copy that and we'll substitute.
8 to the power 2.
Okay, so that's the same factor. So let me just copy that here. And then 8x to the second time. Okay, now I want to get 32. Okay, x to the second, y to the third. So I want this to be a 2. So I want that to be a 2. Let's see, so 2. Okay, got the 5. And y to the third. So let's make that a 3. Closer. And this should be a 3. Put the 3 here. 2 out. Now I want to make this 32x to the second, y to the third. So what must I multiply? What must be here to get that 32? So what would be the coefficient? Maureen, what would be the coefficient here? It's not a
4.
5. 4, that's right. Very good. It'll be a 4. Now what about my x?
To the power 3.
No, I already have x to the second and x to the second. So I don't have an x here, but I have a y to the third. So
That'd be 4y.
4y, that's right. Because y to the first plus y to the second gives you y to the third. You got it?
Yeah.
So same rules of exponents. Y to the 1 plus y to the second give you y to the third. X to the second is already there. So 8x to the second times 4 gives you 32x to the second. And then a y times y to the second is 1 plus 2 give you y to the 3. So we know that our factor is correct. Questions?
I need to gravitate more of that, mister. I've seen I comprehend it so good. And
Yeah,
listen.
but we'll practice more with these.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Yes.
I'll send you this session, but I'll send you some more examples and then I'll send you a couple probably just to practice. All right.
Okay, thank
Until
you.
you really get the hang of it. So your homework is not going to be, well, actually, I'll give you something similar to what you had before because you're still getting your signs mixed up. All right. So we'll
Okay.
have some repeat homework of the same type we had before. In addition, I'll give you binomials for you to find the greatest common factor. Okay.
Okay.
Any questions on anything we've gone over? Because I realized that it takes more than just 1 or 2 examples for you to really get it, especially when you're getting to more than one variable in the monomial. So I'll give you some samples worked out, and then I'll give you a couple just to try. Along with, like I said, some of the same type homework you had before to make sure you now understand how to apply the sign rules. Okay? Any questions on anything we've gone over? Now, your
No.
homework would be sent separate. When I email, your homework
Uh-huh.
would be a separate email, okay?
Okay. Thank
Some
you.
of you are saying you're not getting the homework, some of you are getting it. I send it all out to everybody at the same time, so
Yes,
Okay.
some get lost in the mail.
it's lost in the mail. Latoya, you get your homework.
I didn't get it the last time, the first time. I always get mine because I print
Yeah,
it
I
out.
know, and you said you didn't get
I
it.
didn't
but
get it. I'm
yet I
surprised.
sent everybody and everybody else said they got theirs. You look in your spam,
No, I didn't.
look in your spam folder, because even
Why
Rock-
go to spam?
What?
Why stuff go to spam? Always hear people talk about spam.
Yeah, well, I don't really know what kind of algorithm